Welcome to my course, Control Systems. Myself, Dr. Rajiv Lochon Das. I got my PhD from IIT Kharagpur. Currently, I am Associate Professor in DAIICT, Gandhinagar. In this video, I'll give you a brief introduction to control systems. This control system, the name suggests that it is related to a system, right? So this is your system, and you know that system is having one input and it should produce corresponding output, right? So this input, this is one input you need to apply, and here you are expecting to get corresponding output. Now in control system, our objective is to get desired output from a system, and you know that one system can be used for different purpose. Suppose if I give you one example, so there is one motor. Same motor can be used for different purpose. So we wish to get certain desired output from a system. So here this output will call as controlled output, right? And so from this system we want one desired output. So one thing is a desired output, that we are expecting, but system can produce certain output that is called controlled output. And so we are looking for this one, whether this controlled output is close to desired output or not. Okay, and to get very close output, which is close to desired output, we need to apply a corresponding input, and that input is called in control system as a reference input, right? So we'll denote this reference input as small r of t, and control output will denote c of t in continuous time domain. In the system, we'll consider here system. That system is also called sometime as process, or it is also called as plant. So all are synonymous. And you know that if it is a LTI system, linear time invariant system, then we can have a relation between input and output with the impulse response of the system. Okay, so in that way we can define those relations that will be discussed later. But first I want to give you one example of a simple system. Now consider this system. So this is one fan. So we are expecting that from this fan we will get certain speed. So it will rotate in a certain speed. So according to our need, we should be able to change the speed of these blades. Now to control that one, we need to apply proper voltage to this fan, right? So for that, so you know that this is our system. So this is actually your system, right? Now what is the reference input here? So you see, To set your reference input, we'll use regulator. So using regulator, we can fix of the reference input. So you see, we'll apply voltage, AC voltage to this regulator. So this is your input is coming, and so here you can choose from 0 to 5. 0 means off and 1 means, so this is basically a potentiometer. So we can have several voltage level. So AC voltage level, suppose if it is 220 volt, then we can reduce it, this voltage level, if you want to get slow speed, right? So that we can set here, right? And this output voltage, then it will be connected to this fan, right? This simple arrangement. So here reference input is defined by this regulator, and we'll get controlled output from the fan, and the output is in terms of the rotation of the blades, right? So I may want 100 rpm, 200 rpm, 300 rpm. Okay, so that we can get using this control knob, right? Now the systems, these control systems, broadly it can be classified in two classes. One is open loop systems, other one is closed loop system. So in open loop system, so I told you that I'll apply one reference input and we'll get one controlled output, right? And the system, its impulse response, suppose you will consider LTI system in our course. Throughout the courses, we'll be considering only linear time invariant system. So if it is its impulse response is h of t, then you see Ct can be considered as the convolution between h of t and this r of t. In Laplace domain, if you take Laplace domain, then this is your Rs, Laplace transform of t, this is your h of s, and this is your c of s. Okay, so here we can have a relation. This Cs equals to Hs times Rs. So this Hs, the system, for the system is defined as the Cs upon Rs, and this is called transfer function of the system. So we'll define some transfer function of a system for open loop system, and generally the system is stable in open loop condition, so it is very easy to use it, but we may not get desired output from a open loop system. Okay, so to get better result, we may go for a closed loop system. And in closed loop system, you will see you will have a feedback, and in this feedback, generally it is a sensor. So we can get sensor. Okay, so this output Ct is sensed by this element, and then this reference with the reference input, it will be compared, and then this error signal, this is your ET, that is the actuating signal, and it will be applied to system, and we used to get better result, better output, Ct, controlled output. But here the main concern will be stability. Again, okay, so generally we will give negative feedback. This is plus and this is minus, so it is always negative feedback, even though system may become unstable sometimes. Okay, so in this course we will check the stability criteria of the closed loop system in detail. Okay, so that will be discussed in the due course. Now let us give you some examples of open loop systems and closed loop systems. Now, example of open loop systems. This washing machine. This is one example of open loop system. Here you can define your reference point, okay, using this knob. You can set the point, okay, according to your need. Suppose if you want to use different type of garments like cotton, silk, woolen, depending on that you can choose this one. You can also set the speed here, rotation speed. So once you will set this criteria, this knob, then it is fully automated. So after certain time you will get the end result, right? So this is one dimensional. So it will not check the output, then again it will take this feedback and it will process it further. It is not like that. So after certain time your work will be done, right? So this is fully automatic in that sense, but it is an open loop system. Similarly, a toaster, it's also an open loop system. Just you can assign or you can set certain time range. So there are certain choice here. Depending on that, you can set the time reference, right? So this is also a open loop system. Now the closed loop system. This is one highly sophisticated closed loop system. Example of closed loop system, a driverless car. So in this system you will see there are sensors. It will sense the present surroundings, okay, current status, and depending on that it will produce certain action, it will give certain action in terms of speed or in steering directions. It will control everything automatically. It will be controlled everything automatically. So this is a highly challenging work to make a driverless car. And one simple one example is temperature controlled DC fan. Suppose this fan is a DC fan, we can apply a DC voltage for this rotation, and depending on room temperature we used to get the speed, desired speed, right? So if temperature is high we want higher speed, if temperature is low its speed should be reduced, okay, accordingly. So for that we need a feedback system, a closed loop system. So here we need one sensor to change the temperature. So thermistor here it is employed to change the temperature, and here you have to use your fan. So you see this is a closed example of closed loop system, okay. Now similarly another closed loop system is temperature controlled electric furnace. Similar example. So here we want to maintain certain temperature within the furnace, so that we can sense using this thermometer, and we can have certain program here in the machine. So in computer we can set this one. So we can set different temperature in different time instant, and depending on that reference time instant temperature we can process this one, okay. So we can use amplifier if required, then we'll use the heater to produce certain heat to maintain the constant temperature within electric furnace. Okay. Now I'll give you one example of mechanical system. Okay, this is also a closed loop system. Now this is a liquid level control system. We used to get one constant level, water level, suppose here there is one inflow and one outflow. Okay, now whenever the water level is going to be higher than this level, will cross this level, that time this controller should take one action and it should turn off this valve. So inflow is stopped and it will maintain this level. Okay, and that is done automatically using this floating object pendulum, right? So this process is called total process. We can show in a block diagram. Okay, let us see. So this is our block diagram. So this desired level is here, that is set here. Okay, and this output is actual output, means current water level, right? And if this current water level, actual level, is going to cross the desired level, then this floating object will take action and it will have some controlling unit, a controller, and that will control this valve. It will turn off this valve and you will get desired output, the water level. Okay, so this is a mechanical system. Now suppose if this controller is not there and we wish to maintain the same water level, one human person can do that job. So that is also a closed loop control system. Now that also I want to see. Now suppose instead of that this controller, suppose it is a human operated system. So what we will do? So we'll check the current status of water level, the actual level. So if it is here, okay, we'll allow for this inflow. Okay, water can come in and this water level will rise gradually. So we'll watch this one, no, through our eyes. We'll observe these things. Then whenever the water level will cross this desired level, we can sense that one with our eyes, and then we'll process this thing using our brain. We'll compare these two, right? And then we'll take action using our muscle. We'll stop the valve and water level is maintained. Okay, so it is very similar to this your mechanical system. So you see, this is your sensor, a feedback element, and this is your processor. Okay, and this is your actuator, right? So we'll discuss all those parts in detail. So in this way we can find lots of examples of control systems, right? Now I want to give you, we will discuss the topics that will be covered in this course. So we'll discuss first the mathematical models of few physical systems. Mostly we'll consider electrical systems and few mechanical systems will be also considered. Okay, but we'll use only the models. We'll be using the models of the systems we want to process it. In this course, we'll not discuss how to get the models of the physical system. Rather, once model of the system is given, then how to analyze those systems, that will be discussed in detail in this course. Okay. Next one is the Laplace transform. That is the core area of this course. Throughout the course, we'll be using only the Laplace transform. Using the Laplace transform will define everything. All sorts of mathematics, the stability criteria, rise time, everything will be discussed in terms of using the Laplace transform only. So you have to be familiar with Laplace transform. In signal system course, I have discussed Laplace transform. You can go through that lecture video. So next one is the time response analysis. So here two things will be discussed in detail. One is transient response and another one is steady state response. Okay, so whenever you will apply certain input, it will take certain time to grow. Okay, that part is called transient, and when it settles down, then whatever result you are getting, that time this control output may be close to your desired output. That error will consider steady state error. So here we'll measure the accuracy, and here we'll discuss about speed. So if you want to get fast response, then we have to design certain way, and if you want to get more accurate response, then you have to tune in different way. But it's very difficult to get both that fast convergence and better steady state. Okay, it is very difficult to get. So those things will be discussed in this topic. Then the main concern of this course is stability. So first I will give you from poles and zeros of a system point of view, what is the condition for stability. Okay, then we will discuss how to check the stability in different methods. Okay, and we will be discussing Raoult-Harvey criteria for that. We'll be discussing Bruce-Lucas technique for stability purpose. We'll also discuss frequency response analysis. You know that if we apply a sinusoidal signal of a LTI system, the output will remain sinusoidal. But if you vary the frequency, you will get different amplitude. Okay, so depending on that frequency response, we can study the system behavior. So in this topic, we'll be discussing those points. We'll discuss Nyquist plot to check the stability in frequency domain. We'll discuss Bode plots in frequency domain as well. And we'll also consider state variable analysis. So here the system is defined by some internal states. Okay, and then we'll check those states whether they are controllable or observable at the output. Those will be discussed in detail. So we can say that state variable method is more sophisticated compared to these previous methods, because earlier methods will work with transfer function. Means initial conditions should be 0, then only transfer function is defined. But when initial conditions are not 0, you can't apply previous methods. That time you have to use state variable analysis. So those will be discussed in detail in this course. Now, why this control system is important? Why you will study this course? So first of all, this course is good for GATE examination, because lots of problems you will get from this control system part, and it is also important subject for other competitive exams for public service jobs like ISRO, DRDO, because control system knowledge is important everywhere. Okay, you must have the knowledge of control systems. I hope you have got an overview of control system. So you may subscribe my channel if you want to get rest videos on the control systems and other subjects. And to subscribe the channel, you can press the subscription button. And then don't forget to press bell button, because then only you will get immediate notification for my future videos. I hope you are going to subscribe this channel and you will keep watching the next videos. Thank you.